Welcome to another episode of Afro Rooted. Today, we're gonna be reviewing the Premier Leagues, all the Afro Rooted players from the Premier League and the UEFA Champions League. We're gonna look at some of the best players in some of their seasons, and also some of the players who we expected to do better. Today, as always, I'm joined with Kenea and EU. How's it going, boys?
Yes. Hello, everyone.
What's up, guys? Back
so lads, it's kind of like it's the end of the season. We've just got, if anything, technically it's not even the end of the season. We still have international qualifiers, friendlies, nation leagues, everything. How do you guys feel? Do you guys feel kind of like tired, excited, or ready to move on to something else, NBA finals, or how are you guys feeling?
There's definitely a lot of football being played this year. It feels like, it's like a never-ending season. And I mean, for the viewers, it's always nice, but I don't know how the players will feel about it. I'm sure they want to get some rest as well, since they're going to have their work cut off for them because, as we know, the World Cup is going to come up in November, which is going to take up some time. And that means they're going to have to play games, back-to-back games, a lot of back-to-back games. So, yeah, I feel like it might be intense on the players, but for fans, it's amazing,
That's true. EU, would you rather be here with us, or would you rather be in Mykonos with Kyle Walker and Mason Mount?
And Jack Grealish.
Jack Grealish. My bad.
Yeah, definitely here with you guys talking about Afro Rooted players, 100%, no question.
Dedication.
That's good. It's good. So for our first Afro Rooted players, let's talk about the Premier League, and let's talk about, I guess, I was going to do, obviously, the Liverpool, but let's start off with the champions, show them respect. And one of the top goal scorers of their season, I think the top goal scorer, Riyad Mahrez, Algeria, I think captain of Algeria as well, but failed to make it to the World Cup and crashed out of the AFCON group stages this season. How would you guys rate his seasons so far, or this season overall?
I think like similar to Mo Salah, he had a good first half of the season. For me, I think he was really starting to like get in his stride. He was one of the players that Pep wouldn't drop game to game, even though other players would be rotated. But I don't know if it's the AFCON thing or what happened, but I feel like, I don't know. I'd have to check the data, but for me, first half outstanding, second half iffy. Yeah, I feel like if he was more involved in big games like the Champions League, maybe he would have been like a standout player, maybe even a contender for Premier League player of the season, but not so much in the end.
Yeah, no, Riyad definitely. I feel like, it's pretty clear what his role is, or like a lot of his role is in Man City. Man City, like we know, is a very deep squad and very team orientated. So they do a lot of rotation. So he's a rotational player, I guess. Like almost most strikers in there, or like most offensive players are rotational players, if you want to call them that. And I feel like Riyad Mahrez was pretty decent this year, and I wouldn't say it's his best season, but like he performed as well as you would think he would perform. He did. He was really. He does the job. Off the bench, he does what's expected of him. But I would like to see a little bit more from him, because I know, from his Leicester City days, from being the PFA Player of the Year and stuff. Like we know what he's capable of, but you also need more games for that. I mean, Mo Salah is pretty much playing, almost all of Liverpool's games and has a very crucial role, whereas Mahrez is he's playing his part in a team. He's not necessarily the centerpiece, if that makes sense. And he also almost lost them the season, right? for the league, like on the penalty.
But I think that's also part of the game when it comes to Pep's teams, is you're gonna be rotated, whatever the case. You have a big enough squad to rotate you. And there are even patches where players like Gabriel Jesus was standing out, so it's hard to like they'll get phases where they're playing constantly, and then even when they're playing well, and then the second their levels drop, or maybe it's their fitness, they'll just get switched out, and then someone special will come in and do the job. So.
That's true. That's the reality of playing for a Pep's team. That's Pep's genius. He keeps everybody in check. A lot of competition, and he keeps the ball rolling. You know what I mean? Whenever you're down, somebody else is ready there to fill up that gap, ready to go. Like, yeah, that's why Man City. I guess this is a mindset, if you want to call it like this. Is basically we're in the midst of their dynasty.
Yeah, no. One thing for sure you guys can say is. So this is actually Mahrez's best goal scoring season he's ever had. Yes, he's also the designated penalty taker, but he has scored more and he has played a lot more than usual. And definitely for sure, like his towards the second half of the season, his influence definitely started to fade away. But it kind of seems like with City, like every player has their shining moment throughout the season. Bernardo Silva, KDB, Foden, Gabriel Jesus, you can make a case for that. But one team that doesn't do as much rotation, or they're about to start with the new signings of Luis Diaz and Diogo Jota threatening Firmino. Actually, already has Liverpool. They came so close, so very close to also winning the Premier League. They also had an amazing season from quadruple to domestic double. Mo Salah, Sadio Mane, and Naby Keita. Those are three players who've been really influential. But let's start off with Mo Salah. His season, he had an amazing individual season, but again, like there was a bit of a drop off in the sense of like he set such high standards in the beginning and then wasn't as good as we've seen him. How would you guys characterize his season?
I think it was one of the best half seasons we've ever seen in the Premier League, followed by a bang average half season. I think that the second half of the season he was outshone not just by Mane, but also by Luis Diaz. Really.
True.
But yeah,
that's very true. Actually,
Mo Salah, from the first half of the season might even have helped them win the Champions League. Really. Not might. I think almost like guaranteed wins some Champions. Yeah, wins some Champions League if he's in the form that he was in the first half of the season. So, but yeah, Mane just got in his head, AFCON. And that was the end of it.
Yeah. Mo Salah definitely. I feel like you said. I think he had an amazing first half of the season, but also like I feel like this year he hasn't been able to perform in like some of the most important games, the final in the AFCON, last qualifier game against Senegal, and then again Champions League final, which it was really hyped up. Like it was almost everybody was looking forward to Mo Salah's revenge on Real Madrid, and I feel like that kind of got a little. You could see that he was eager, but he was not calm enough and composed enough to play really well in the final. And in that game, I even think Sadio Mane performed better than him. Like I feel like he had a better composure over him, and like you said as well, like Luis Diaz kind of covered the slack for the rest of the season, in terms of playing for Liverpool in the second half of the season, and Liverpool, I think, as this is really I feel like it's a really unfortunate season for them because. Even though they only won 2 domestic cups, they're so close of winning, a quadruple. And, like the results is not necessarily a reflection of how good they were this season.
I mean, we're both United fans, so we're like, oh, well, it's a shame. Well, that's all we're gonna say. But no, honestly, taking off my biased hat, I'd say it was an incredible season. Just see him perform on all fronts, and the quadruple was definitely a real thing. Mo Salah, he's someone I feel like he took on a lot of like he came in this season was super refreshed, super charged up and ready. It maybe like going away to AFCON kind of might have taken away some of that momentum, and I think even like that pressure of losing the final and then losing the World Cup qualifier, that's got to take. I know none of us have that sort of experience, but and could you imagine the person who won it was probably sitting right next to you? Do you think
So your best friend, basically?
Yeah, you're both professionals, but do you think that sort of thing would affect him, or I don't know?
I mean, I feel like part of being pro as well requires you to. I mean, I'm sure it takes a certain toll on you, but I feel like part of becoming pro is also being mentally strong. And some of the best players in the game know how to, look forward to the next one and perform better. At that level, that's what you're required to do. And like you said, individually too, he had a good season. At the end of the day, he scored 23 goals, top goal scorer and joint top scorer, and then top assister in the league. I mean, that's most people can't say they did that. That's a pretty good achievement as well. So we shouldn't also forget that he's achieved that. I mean, I know we expect a lot more from Mo Salah, but he's been consistent throughout these past years. So yes, we would like to see him, shine a little bit more. And but at the end of the day, he's still performing, and his numbers are showing.
EU, do you think Sadio Mane, and I think also time of recording, it's a period where there are lots of rumors of Mane leaving and him possibly going to Bayern Munich. Do you think it'd be a big loss for him, big loss for the Premier League, Liverpool, for him to go to Liverpool, or is it kind of like time for Mane to leave?
You're asking if it's a big loss for Mane?
For Liverpool, and also even the Premier League, guys, as us as fans.
Yeah, I mean, I think definitely for Liverpool, they're going to lose someone that they might not have rated as much as they probably should have, especially from the fans' perspective. I think that he's admired, obviously, by Klopp. But I think at the end of the day, for not just Mane, but for Salah as well, they've reached a point in their development where they can literally pick any team in the world and just say, I want to go there. And everyone is going to be looking to sign them if they have the room for it. So for Mane, I think it's a good time for him. I think that he's been in the Premier League for so long now that I can imagine him being interested in branching out and trying something new. He said as well that the Senegalese people think that, or a lot of them are saying to him that they think he would be better served elsewhere. So I think it's an interesting one to see him in a different team, especially for it to leave the links to Bayern Munich. I think that would be really, really dope, especially if they continue to play him how he's been playing at Liverpool as a number 9 or a false 9 or whatever. That would be dope with Lewandowski going to Barcelona. So definitely room for him there. We'll see. I think it's an interesting prospect, but nice thing for Liverpool is that they've almost guaranteed replacement for the front line with Jota and Diaz both turning up during the second half of the season, and then they're bringing in Fulham youngster Carvalho as well, who's supposedly really good. So looks like Liverpool always does smart business. So I have a feeling that they won't be hurt too badly in the end.
Yeah. No, that's true, man. I feel like, especially with Lewandowski gone, I feel like it might be a strong possibility for him to go to Bayern Munich. And yeah, like you said, like he's already won the Premier League in Liverpool. He's won the Champions League. Like, it's he's won FA Cup. Literally, he's won every cup with the team. So maybe he wanted to try something new and a different league, a different challenge. I can see why he would do that. And even from a financial standpoint, I feel like Liverpool's salary structure kind of limits them, right? I feel like they have in principle, like you said, like they do good business. But for players like, Sadio Mane and Mo Salah, this is your prime. And I would also understand why they want to go somewhere else and not only just face new challenges for football-wise, but also financially. This is the time where you could gain the most. I know it's not always about money, but you got to put yourself in their shoes, and also, they got families to feed, and they got to think about a lot of other stuff as well. So this could be a great opportunity for them to go get a bigger contract for another team. since their contract is already running out as well. So most clubs will be getting them on a cheap, so they'll be able to afford their huge salaries and wages, weekly wages.
Yeah, I think one thing is this definitely increases the pressure on Liverpool now to renew Mo Salah's contract. I think now with Sadio Mane gone, that just leaves them as only. I have a feeling that Firmino goes, but they can't release all three of them at the same time. So probably I can see them, ending up extending Mo Salah now.
If they don't renew his contract, I mean, I guess they'll have him for one season. So like short term, it might not be like a big problem, but like you said, long term, he's gonna go on a free. And imagine losing a player like Mo Salah on a free. And I mean, for Salah, this is amazing because I feel like also from his like agents and like his Mo Salah's team, I feel like they're not in a rush because running down the contract is one of the smartest things they could do. So they either force Liverpool to sign or like to offer a big salary, or they could go elsewhere. So and elsewhere, like whenever you're a free agent and you're Mo Salah, especially, you could negotiate for anything you want basically because they're going to be getting you on a free anyway. So all that budget that I like, the budget that the clubs have, they'll be able to allocate a lot more to his salary. So I feel like he's
and the bonuses
and the bonuses as well. Goals, bonuses, signing bonuses, and all that. So you know what I mean. You can see like a team like PSG picking him up just for the sake of it at the end.
You guys are definitely right. Where it's like these last few seasons, particularly actually even this season, it's been the seasons of player power. Most notably, Paul Pogba, Ousmane Dembele, Mbappe. Oof, Jesus, that's on. we can have an whole episode about him. And I mean, I think and knowing the history of football and that how much players used to suffer, in my opinion, I think it is a good thing, and it's kind of refreshing and interesting, I guess, to see if it's negative or positive. We'll see, but. Especially knowing how much players used to suffer and kind of were at the whims of their team, especially ones that weren't really as fair. But then, you could also say the club is being held hostage, but I guess it depends on who you are and how you view it. But I guess moving on from one Senegalese legend to another, Edouard Mendy finished third with Chelsea, had an amazing, had a really good season. I'd say exceptional. And that's because he lost the 2 domestic cup finals. I'm not going to blame him for this, but also one of his mistakes led to the Benzema hat trick in the Champions League. Mm-hmm. But again, Club World Cup, he won, AFCON, and then also just like Mane is going to the World Cup. His season, how would you guys describe Edouard Mendy's season with Chelsea?
Ooh, ups and downs for sure.
Yeah, that's a good word.
Yeah, ups and downs, but it's expected though. You can't expect him to,
win everything,
for everything to be smooth sailing, and he's a goalkeeper at the end of the day. So, at the end of the day, it's a team sport, and you can only expect so much from your goalkeepers. And other than like the big mistakes that he's done, and mistakes of like huge magnitude, it's the game against Real Madrid is definitely one where we saw him like look bad. Like that wasn't the Edouard Mendy we knew. But you gotta allow players to have one bad day. At the end of the day, like it happens to everyone. And what I want to see really is how he bounces back from then. And but overall, I don't think he had a bad season. He had a great AFCON. But his individually, I feel like he's been good this season.
Yeah, and then going from the next one London club to the next Arsenal, Thomas Partey. You're a big fan of him, and you've seen him close up. Like, what do you think about his influence, and what's it been like? Even like, whenever he's injured, how's it been for you as an Arsenal fan? Just watching. Well, I guess Xhaka has done well, but how do you feel when Partey isn't playing?
Yeah, I think going into the season, we had a good unit of African talents at Arsenal. with Oba, Elneny, Thomas Partey, and Nico Pepe. I think two of the four of them are no good. But Partey has definitely been he's shown his quality this year. We can clearly see the difference in Arsenal's midfield when he's not playing. He had a good partnership with Xhaka during the season, and I think he really just showed his quality. If he can keep his fitness right, and we sign, I think, probably one more midfielder this summer. I think to ease some of the pressure on him, I think we can really see how good he is. And for Arsenal fans who actually watch Arsenal week in, week out, you can definitely tell that Partey is probably one of, if not the best player that we have right now. So, expecting a lot from him.
Very nice, very nice. All right, we covered the first of a few of the top big players from the top six. We're gonna take a quick break and we'll be right back. How's it going, everyone? We're back again. So after the break, we're discussing the Premier League's Afro Rooted players and some of the best ones in their season. So we're looking into Brighton. We're just going to mention some honorable mentions real quick. Mwepu and Bissouma. Guys, how do you guys feel about them? This is Brighton's best and highest finish in the Premier League. Just a quick honorable mention to these guys.
Yeah, I think in general, just Brighton's midfield has been the engine for all of this success. I think Bissouma has shown his quality. I think he's ready for the next step in his career. Hopefully that's Arsenal, but we'll see. I think he has a high ceiling. Yeah,
no, I definitely want to see Bissouma shine again. I feel like, he's on his way to like having a, I mean, we've seen some pretty good stuff, but I don't think we've seen like his peak yet. And I don't think he's reached his prime yet. So I'm really excited to see where his career takes him. But I definitely feel like it's time for him to leave Brighton and just like you said, take that next step to a bigger challenge, a bigger club. I want to see him. I want to see how he does, when he's surrounded by more like better players, for lack of a better term.
No, it's fair. It's fair. If anything, I think definitely United we're in a shout for him, but if he knows better, he probably would stay away just for his own career. But that's fine. It's fine. But the team that just finished right above Brighton, Leicester, and one player in particular that we love. Obviously, last season it was Kelechi. Hasn't been the same this season for him. But Patson Daka, new signing, and he's kind of lit up the Premier League. Particularly with his one performance in the Europa League where he scored 4 goals. I forgot which Russian team it was. But what do you guys think of this Zambian?
I love it, man. And I love also the fact that he's not, from he's from Zambia. He's
not like a West African or Maghreb.
He's not your usual, like, I mean, we love the Senegalese players, the Ghanaian players, the Nigerian players, but like, it's also nice to see, somebody from, a different country, especially from the east side, southeast side, come and then be able to break through because the pathway to becoming a pro for the East is very hard. I feel like it's a much rougher road at this point. So I'm happy to see we have a player like that.
Yeah, it's dope. It's dope to see Leicester planning for Vardy's successor to be Patson Daka, and I think he's proven. It looked like he had a slow start with them only relying on him in Europe, but over the course of the season, they started playing more and more in the Premier League. Even when Vardy got injured, and I think it's been steady. I don't think he's had like the most outstanding season from all the Africans on the list, but. I think he's shown his quality and shown that he's good enough for the Premier League. So it's going to be exciting to see what he does next season and how his partnership with Kelechi develops over time as well. I think Kelechi he's actually a very, very solid player that people don't rate as highly as they should. But it's good to see him hit the ground running in the Premier League.
Yeah, not sure. I feel like he's had his moments this season with the Nigerian team. I mean, sadly, he didn't qualify for the World Cup, but like he did have a couple of moments here and there. He contributed to his team when players like Victor Osimhen were injured and not able to contribute. So yeah, I mean, definitely like one thing I would say about Iheanacho is like I feel like he's another player that I just don't think has reached his potential yet. I don't know if he'll have time to do that or not, like, or if it's late for him or it's too early. I mean, after watching Karim Benzema this season, I don't think it's late for anybody to shine. But it's I still want to see more from him because I feel like he's one of those players where I feel like, I want to see his best and I want to see consistency from him. Like I feel like that's where he can improve.
Yeah, but I don't think Iheanacho is like the sole striker type of guy. I think that's what typically how Leicester plays, but. With Iheanacho and Daka in the team at the same time, I think that allows them to like bounce the ball off each other, do some nice exchanges, and then I don't think you can rely on Iheanacho as the sole striker, and I don't think that's his role either. So if he's played with a partner striker, I think that he can shine a lot more.
I mean, I guess this partnership is still like early in its relation. The relationship between the two is still like in its early days. So, like you said, maybe he could stay here and then. Maybe this could develop into an amazing duo. A duo to be reckoned with in the Premier League, and hopefully we can see them, competing at even higher levels.
Yeah.
One thing about Leicester is that if you look closely, they do have a lot of African players, mostly from Nigeria and Ghana, and besides Patson Daka and Iheanacho, some guys I think. They're kind of easy to forget, but we all know them. Ademola Lookman, he recently converted to Nigerian, I think, the last few months before AFCON. Wilfred Ndidi, of course,
Ndidi,
can't forget him. Mendy as well, he had an amazing
Mendy AFCON. Amazing.
And Daniel Amarty, who he's a defender, and I think he's mostly a midfielder, correct me if I'm wrong, but he stepped in as center back several times. And Leicester suffered so many times. All their top defenders are out, and he stepped up a lot for them. I mean, maybe not for corners, but we know he means well. But for those guys I mentioned, anyone you guys want to talk about real quick or give a shout out?
From Leicester?
Not really. I think that Nigeria. By the way, I'm just noticing how stacked Nigeria is on paper. Actually, I think they need to be.
They should be at the World Cup.
They need to be looking at their coaching or something because something's not right.
The number of course didn't have enough time with them though. The coach they had.
Yeah, but
he's actually done pretty well for his I think like they should keep this coach and like stick with him because like he only had the AFCON with them and then he only had like the last part of the qualifiers, like 2 games.
Yeah.
So I don't think it's fair to obviously he did. They lost. It's a bit of an unfortunate situation for him, but I feel like he definitely means well. I remember I think I watched an episode of him he was on Coach's Voice.
Yeah.
And he really understands traditionally how Nigeria plays, and he seems to be someone that's really that's a great coach and that knows how Nigeria should be playing. And I want to see what he develops. And if Senegal was to fire Aliou Cisse from the get-go, they wouldn't have gone here. So I feel like they should be patient with him.
Yeah. It's probably because the footballing tradition and the footballing heritage that Nigeria has, the standards are high enough for them to expect a lot.
No, definitely. That's understandable from the fans.
Yeah. And I think the quality of the players is there. Osimhen, JJ Iwobi, Kelechi Iheanacho.
But I feel like one of the biggest problems they have Nigeria as well is that like they're very individualistic.
Like possibly, but but that's the coaches. You can't say that Nigeria's team is more individualistic than like Real Madrid, for example. But if you have the right coach in place or the right man manager in place, to get the cohesion out of them, you can expect a lot. And also honorable mentions for Nigeria, Emmanuel Dennis and Chus Pikong.
Yeah.
Oh my God, yeah. Even those
for
guys.
Watford. Yeah.
Yeah, man. Watford, man. Shout out Watford. I know they got relegated, but
Yeah. Yeah, actually, you know what? That's actually one team that's actually really, really important to mention. Like someone like Emmanuel Dennis, who I'd say not that many people had a lot of expectations from him, and even his partner Ismail Assar. We'll talk about him as well. But what would you make about Dennis and his his performance too? He was one of the top goal scorers too at the moment too. He was at the best form for one part of the season.
Yeah, I think for me, he's probably one of the biggest breakthrough stars of the season. For at least for African stars, breakthrough stars. I don't think anyone really expected him to perform the way he did, and I think that following Watford's relegation, we're going to see him get picked up by like a decent mid-table Premier League team, or maybe somewhere in Italy or Spain. But I think he's good enough quality to play at a Leicester or a Brighton, for sure. I think he's really good. He had a great season, and yeah.
No Arsenal,
not quite. I wouldn't say he's quite at Arsenal level yet.
Man, I feel like he's better than Ketsa, man.
Bro, I beg to differ, dude. I beg to differ. Nketiah is the top goal scorer for England at under 21. I think that goes under the radar a bit. The players that he has to compete with for that record is match.
But Emmanuel Dennis, like you said, I feel like this is a breakthrough season for him, and like a lot of people didn't know about Emmanuel Dennis till this season. So I mean, that should say a lot. Like he kind of popped out of nowhere for a lot of people. And and what do you guys think? Also, like I'm sure, like do you guys think Emmanuel Dennis or Ismail Assar are gonna stay in Watford, or personally, I think it's time for them to leave that club, man, and especially Ismail Assar, because I feel like he's stuck with.
He's already gone through it.
Yeah, he's already gone through it. He's already been relegated. Performed well in the championship, and it served him well. Yeah. And now he came back to the Premier League. I don't think it's fair for him to go back to the championship after this.
No. He's I think he needs to leave in terms of just for like keeping his profile up, and like Senegal too. They have a World Cup upcoming, so I think he needs to maintain that level too. Finding a club where he can play consistently and to style, that's another question. But I would recommend he stay in top flight leagues for now on, because that's his level, and he can play at that level. And imagine he was at a club where they played to strength and were more attacking. I would definitely go. But kind of keeping up with pace and also staying with the relegated FC. Another Afro player that also got relegated was Maxwell Cornay. He was a player we're not sure we could envision at Burnley, but he lit it up, and the Burnley fans, everyone loved him there. But it was a little bit wasn't enough for them at the end.
Yeah, I feel like he needs to leave that club too.
He should leave. Everyone's like, nah, get out of there.
Yeah, man. I mean, yeah, I mean, I don't want to see these players just go down, you know what I mean? Because from I guess we're Afro Rooted, and I guess we're very selfish about our African players, But it's you don't want to see a Maxwell Cornay like be in the championship for a season, and and to be honest, like I know that they liked him in Burnley and stuff, but for me, like I feel like he'll be performing better at a different Premier League side.
Yeah. I think he would fit really nicely in an Everton.
He would. So would Emmanuel Dennis as well, I think.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Under the right system, with the right manager. I don't know if Frank Lampard's the guy for that, but yeah, I could see them shine in an Everton.
A lot of speaking of Everton, they've also survived, and Doucouré he's one player which I was kind of disappointed by this season, where like in the beginning he did pretty well, but he kind of fell apart. He's plays for Mali, and then he's done all right so far. Also, Alexander Iwobi, another Nigerian. They're just oh my god. Yeah, you're right. Maybe they should be doing better. But I mean, is it fair? Should we even rate their seasons just given we all know how like yeah, they survived, but it wasn't the best. It was very ugly, their season. Is
It
there
was
anything
very ugly.
any mention to those guys?
I think that Iwobi's come under so much pressure over the years that we have to mention the role that he played in the end of the season, helping Everton stay up. I think if you go back and watch the highlights, he was always there defensively and he was always there offensively. He was putting in the effort and the work and even showing his quality with a couple of assists in the last few games. So shout out to him, ex-Arsenal player, you know, gotta show some love.
No, it's fair. It's fair. All right, then let's go to another one. Crystal Palace, and it was a team Everton, and it was Crystal Palace who lost to Everton and helped keep them alive. Their midfield, they're stacked with a lot of Afro players, so from Kouyaté, Jeffrey Sloop, Jordan Ayew, and Wilfred Zaha. Who's your favorite player? I know I mentioned like about 4 players, but do you have a favorite from these guys from at all, or from the Crystal Palace quad?
Well, obviously, Wolfie Zaha is a good lad. He's really, I think this has been his best season in terms of goals and assists. He's had a couple kids come in that have really balanced out the team, so there isn't as much attention on him, and everything isn't going through him as it used to. There's a bit more balance with overacheivers and Michael Olise taking some of the loads, the creative loads, and then Ketsa as well, you know, as a striker is contributing with a couple of goals, as well as actually Ayew, who's been okay actually this season, playing off the right wing. I think Patrick Vieira's come in and actually performed probably biggest overperformance other than Brentford versus what everyone's expectations were. I think everyone thought that Patrick would be like close to relegation really, with this squad, but everyone has looked good. So it's good to see the team develop a very Afro-centric team, I would say. Which is dope to see. I actually love it. Yeah.
Our only Afro Rooted manager in the top league.
Yeah, only black manager. No, I think he's the only.
Oh yeah, he is.
Not just Afro, like just black in general. It's madness. But yeah, shout out to him.
He has Senegalese roots, I think. I know he played for France.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, man, Senegal. Something about that team.
Something about them, yeah. How about you? Is there anything you want to add about Crystal Palace? Even Patrick Vieira. I mean, one thing we could mention about him is that a lot of people had him to be fired.
They had a decent cup run, you know, like
FA Cup.
They went to the semis, right? FA Cup. I feel like, you know, that shows you, like, I mean, you don't get there by just, you know, pure chance. You have to work for that kind of stuff. So I think Patrick Vieira is a right fit for Crystal Palace, man, and this is just the beginning for him. And I'm excited to see how this develops. You know what I mean? And definitely they do have an Afrocentric team. So for Afro Rooted, especially for us, I feel like we're gonna keep a close eye on them, especially next year, to see how this develops, because it definitely helps to have a manager that's, you know, that's Afrocentric for these kind of players to shine. You know what I mean? They might not necessarily have the leadership that they. I mean, nothing wrong with any of the managers, but it's always good to have somebody you could kind of relate to.
Oh, there's also one player, Mark Gahey. I think off the Zoom call we were talking about him, and looked like he committed to England.
Yeah.
Do you guys think? What do you guys think? Do you guys think he has a chance of making it into England's team? Maybe not for this World Cup, but the next one, maybe. 21 years old.
Yes, honestly, he's held the line very much well at Crystal Palace, and I think one great thing about Vieira is that he's given a lot of license to these young players, like let alone Guille, like even Tyreek Mitchell, like he's really like entrusted a lot of these younger guys, and Mark Guille, I think he's benefited, and he's kind of like he's matured throughout the season. Like he was very solid, and he's just only gotten better. So I think that's why he even got a call up, and he got one even I think ahead of Tomori. Not this one, but I'm talking the last cycle. So I think if anything, England definitely they did a good job keeping him.
Yeah. What was the country that his African heritage is from?
So he was born in Ivory Coast, actually.
Oh.
Yeah. Are you okay? Ooh.
Man, I don't know, man.
But you know what? I think
he should join his teammate Wilfred Zaha, man. He could convince him. Agent Zaha to the rescue.
Yeah. Literally, he could. Yeah, you're right. He could just tell like, "Hey, how's the team there?" So,
that would actually be sick, man. Like with Haller, Zaha, and then Cornay.
Yeah, Cornay.
And then Gehi, Serge Aurier, obviously.
Eric Bailly and them.
Eric Bailly,
Amad Diallo coming out.
Diallo as well. Rangers had a Europa League or Europa Conference League winning season.
Europa League final.
Europa League final.
He lost it 2 times in a row. Once for United, once for Rangers. But it was a pretty good loan spell for him, man. He was able to escape from all the drama at Man United and then just focus on his football. Develop there,
Yeah.
But speaking about Gay, I feel like when you mention if we think he'll be able to make it in England, I feel like he would. But I feel like players in this situation, one thing they need to think about, I feel like we mentioned this as previous podcasts before. It's what kind of legacy you're gonna leave. I feel like they should really think about that, because I feel like in terms of impact, he'll be more impactful in a team like Ivory Coast, where he'll be more appreciated, I feel like, and he'll be more remembered. Whereas in England, obviously, it's good for him in terms of competition, might raise the bar a little bit, but in England, you're almost replaceable. You know what I mean? Even though he might have best season in one of his best seasons, but he'll always be sort of replaceable, if that makes sense, because of the talent pool that England has.
Yeah, I mean, even the existing English players, like there's always so I always look at the new call-ups. It always seems like there's like there's like 2 or 3 new players who just came in. Like just watching, like there's 2 left backs, Luke Shaw and Chilwell are out. They've got James Justin. He'll just come in, and Kieran Trippier can play there. So it's like, I mean, actually, it's good for England, their national team. But it seems like
Wan-Bissaka still hasn't gotten a call up.
Bro, yeah. Oh my days. We paid 50 million for this guy. We said, and it's because he was English. He said that was one reason to, because he's English, you have to pay this much. But but really quick to wrap up the segment, I guess there's a few players I want to also mention real quick. Salisu, who played for obviously for Southampton, and then I think Genepo from Fruposo plays for Mali, also in midfield. He's a great player who had a very good season. And if there's anyone else, please let me know. But there was one thing I actually wanted to bring up. You had mentioned this. He said, he's like, yeah, I didn't realize how stacked the Nigeria team is, right? And I was thinking about that question. And even I was looking at Ivory Coast's team and Senegal. Okay, this is one. Are these teams actually stacked? Are they actually all high caliber players, or are they just like a bunch of average players that we all just know, right? Like we all recognize the Nigeria team. We all know Lookman and Iheanacho and all these other players. Are they actually stacked, or is it just like we all know them because they play in the Prem?
I mean, to be able to play in the Prem says something on itself. I feel like, right. Not everybody is able to play in the Premier League. So that's, that shows you the level that they're playing at. So I feel like that's one of the reasons I'm sure like EU says they're stacked as well. I mean, like not everybody plays in the Premier League, you know what I mean?
Right.
Like players that play in like big teams in France or like Spain or somebody or some other team might end up playing for a mid-table or lower table Premier League team. So I feel like we have to take that into consideration as well when we mention this, because I feel like like Lookman, put him in the French league, where is he gonna play? I'm sure he's not gonna play for like a Strasbourg or whatever. He'll probably be able to make like a Marseille, high caliber team like Lyon. I feel like I'm just like trying to like put it into perspective.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like being in any Premier League team, I feel like is
An honor,
you have to be a high caliber team, and if you start in those teams, it's not by just pure accident,
Yeah, what do you think? Do you think I'm a little bit misguided or?
Yeah, no, actually, I was thinking about it some more as well. I think the main thing is, for at least for Nigeria specifically, is they need a balance between like their dynamic balance, like their attacking threat, and their defensive minded pragmatic players. I think it's typical, not just with Nigeria, but Ethiopia as well, where everyone wants to, we're looking forward, trying to play forward, and everyone wants to, everyone is like kind of made in the mold of like the dynamic wingers, like the go-to style of play for a player that we're trying to become. So if they can find the balance between the two, then I think Nigeria will have a good team. Quick question for you guys: top three seasons for African players before we end the podcast.
Top three what?
Top three seasons in the Premier League by Afro Rooted or African players. Let's do African players just to make it easier.
Yeah. Ooh, who wants to go first? Gotta.
Not me, man.
How about you? You think you wanna?
Top three seasons.
Start it off.
I think definitely Mo Salah and Sadio Mane have to be in there. And then the third one is debatable, I would say, for anyone. I'll come back on the third one. Or should we do outside top six? Okay, let's just do a general one. Actually.
I'd say
honest, if you say top three, the players you said,
it's pretty much it's very much like
top three seasons, not players. Seasons. How was their season?
Oh yeah.
Okay. Because you could just say Salah, Mahrez.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's
but
like
I guess
suspects for me, man.
Yeah, I guess not top three, but like, all right, we all know. I guess you can't say those three guys. Then basically, you can't say Salah, Mane, or Mendy.
Okay, should we do top breakthroughs?
Breakthrough or yeah.
Breakthrough, yeah.
Breakthrough.
Okay.
Wilfred Zaha.
Is that a breakthrough? Really?
Hell no. Guy's been for 10 plus years, baby.
I think someone that we didn't mention in the podcast is Matip. I think he had probably, for me, number one most underrated season for an African player. Boom.
Okay, yeah, great season.
Breakthrough has to be Dennis, probably.
For me, he's at the top of the list, yeah.
Yeah, and then probably Patson Daka for me for number two. And then maybe Mwepu. Liverpool might be number three for me. I'll see if I can find anyone.
Yeah, I'm definitely going Emmanuel Dennis, Patson Daka, and third breakthrough. Ismail Assar is not really a breakthrough. Third one, who should we go for?
I personally like, not gonna lie, look.
Third Afro breakthrough. I was gonna say Iliman, but he's in the championship.
Oh,
I briefly mentioned the Charlton player, Senegalese player that definitely needs to find his way to the Premier League next season. But I guess
what position does he play in?
He's a midfielder. Scored 5 goals this season, but he was able to play 32 games versus 2 games from last season. So you know what I mean. That already, that in itself speaks volumes, you know.
Yeah.
So I definitely want to see him, join a team in the Premier League, maybe a newly promoted team or a team like I don't know if I can see him in Everton because they already have midfielders.
Yeah.
But maybe even like a Wolves because like they might lose Neves right next season.
No,
Yeah.
my God, that'd be a blessing.
That would be a huge step to be thrown straight into. I think Wolves actually need like a full.
A player we
midfield.
forgot is Roman Sai. Speaking of Wolves,
Roman Sai, yeah, and Willy Bolly as well, no?
Bowley too, yeah.
He's had kind of a tough season, Bodie. Like I think the injury, or maybe he just wasn't starting.
Yeah.
He hasn't been like what we've seen, but I remember the last two before that, prior to that, he was amazing. Oh my days.
Yeah. But as a team, they haven't been good. I feel like that's why none of them really shined this season as much.
Yeah. I was gonna say the three players. I guess.
Oh,
that's not.
Guys,
but
I have the third one. It's Mark Gahey.
Okay.
Oh,
He might even be second. I think for me, okay. So top three are number one is Emmanuel Dennis, Mark Gahey, and then Patson Daka. That's the one.
Okay. I'm sticking with my three.
Nah. My three, I think it has to be number one is Cornay, two Lookman.
Okay, Cornay is a good one.
And then three, I was gonna say Kouyaté, but he's not breakout. But I really did like watching him. Can I say Kouyaté, or is he kind of
Sure.
like he's a bit of a veteran?
He's been in the Prem for a while.
He's an established player.
He's I was like Jordan Ayew. No, that guy's also been there for a minute. Yeah. But, yeah, boys. I guess that'll make it. I guess we won't have time to. I guess the next one we'll probably cover the Champions League. But yeah, this was our Afro Rooted African players, Afro Rooted players, Premier League review of their individual seasons and how they did.
Mm-hmm.
Honorable mentions from top to bottom. Before we wrap it up, before we say goodbye to everyone watching and listening, anything else you want to add, or any advice to the Nigeria Football Federation we want to give them? How's it? No, you don't have to really give them advice.
I don't think I'm gonna give them advice, but on this note, I would like to say, if you like this episode, we're gonna do more reviews of the season. We're gonna be doing Champions League next time, and we're also gonna be doing going down the top 5 leagues. So League One, what else we have? Bundesliga, Serie A, Spanish La Liga.
And the
we're gonna be
African
covering
Champions
this, and the African Champions League. Yeah. I feel like drop us a comment or something, and what players do you guys want to see us talk about? Any players we missed today, or any players you want to see in the future episodes? Just let us know. And thank you for staying with us.
And you anything else you wanna add?
Yeah, two things. Let us know your top 3 breakthrough players, African players for this season. And if you haven't already watched it, right after the end screen, there's going to be our last episode where we talked about Africa and the World Cup. So check that out.
Okay, well said, and that's good. A lot of content to look forward to, and just to echo again what Ghana said, like let us know what you want to hear. We definitely want to cover as much of the content we can, from the Maghrebi to the south, west to east, so and central, of course. So all of the above. So thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe, everything right here or there.
All that. Run it up.
Yeah. So we're here, wherever we'll decide later. But no. All right, boys. Thank you guys again for another great episode. And thank you for watching and listening as well. Appreciate your time, and take care. Bye-bye.
Take care.